Everyone, welcome to Tobera's Tech Life. My name is Tobera Nyati, and today we're going to look at NSFAS Defunding Explained. We're going to look at the reasons behind NSFAS defunding student, the impact that it has on student and the South Africa as a whole, and the solutions that they are coming up with to solve this problem. If you know someone who is defunded, or maybe you are defunded, you need to stay alert or you need to stay tuned in this video so that you will have you get more information on why it's happened and what is the solution that they are providing. And also, if you a student, you need to be stay alerted on why someone gets defunded, because if this can happen to other students, this can also happen to you. So the first thing that we're going to look at is the snapshot and context. So the media funding disruption have left many NSFAS beneficial blocked. So when we're talking about the media funding, we're talking about the second semester. So most of the students have been defunded to continue with their studies on the second semester due to the registration that is unpaid. I don't know the reason, but they are not allowed to continue studying on the second semester, to continue with their studies, with their academics, because the fees are not paid by NSFAS. Because if you still maybe needed to register your second semester modules, due to that, also that is also blocked. You didn't get any allowance. The NSFAS allowance that we get monthly, you're not getting it. Maybe you did not get it. The budget shortfalls, re-verification, and admin errors all play a role. So we're talking about you needing to re-verify everything, the budget shortfalls and stuff like this. So there's a lot of things that are happening. It targets a lot of students, especially if you still had to register your second semester module. Mostly in college, if you still had to register your second semester modules, and also if obviously you know that you were not receiving any allowances until now. That means you are also one of those students who are having trouble with the funds of NSFAS. So the main reason behind defunding is eligibility re-verification. So house income changes. So if for example when you registered with your mom or father, parent, you can be a grandparent or your sister, your guardian basically. So you registered with your guardian when you're registered when you're applying, basically when you're applying for NSFAS funding, you used your guardian's information, right? And then for example, at that time your guardian was not working, or they were working a minimal paying job. They were not permanent in their job, and it was a job that was not under the government. So now that particular guardian is working in the government, is earning an income that is more than 200,000 a year. So now you are defunded because the household income does not allow the household income that your family has now does not allow you to be funded by the NSFAS. It has changed. That is why. So some of the reasons are that if you know that your guidance in the NSFAS found out that yes, you filled in the information of your grandparent, but your actual parent or your mother or your father is earning an income progress can be. Maybe when you are registered, obviously you will not be funded. For example, you changed the codes, and then you deregistered. You went to another institution and stuff like this. So everything deregistration, obviously, will be defunded. Administration data errors, there are also errors in terms of the NSFAS institution, errors that they made on their own that makes you defunded. It can be the information that they put about you, maybe, or maybe they thought that you were funded, but then with the errors that can happen in terms of the data administration, you were accidentally defunded. So missing or late documentation. So if your documents are not all successful, or are not they're not what is this our pelelanga, our pelelanga, you will be defunded because there are some document that you didn't submit. There are some document that you were required to submit, but you didn't submit. So it's just practically that it just means that you didn't want NSFAS because you didn't fulfill or complete your application. And also late documentation. If you provide your document late, there are already students who provided their document early, who were serious about getting an NSFAS, or who tried their best to ensure that they complete each and every process in the NSFAS application. And then there you come when you do late application, you do late things every time, and you will be defunded because they take obviously those who applied first, basically. Institutional reconciliation problems. And also the institution can also have a problem on its own, like the university that you're studying in, or the college that you're studying in, can have certain problems in terms of reconciliation, fixing certain issues. Maybe you had certain issues at the university, maybe academics, stuff like that. Budget constraint and prioritization. Obvious in terms of the budget that the NSFAS has, does not allow it to fund any more students. So they decided to defund instead of running at a loss. So who gets defunded? The student with household income above the threshold. So student who knows that in their household the income is above 300,000 a year, 200,000 a year, you will be defunded. Or maybe you lied in your application. Now they have found out that you actually does not do not qualify for the NSFAS scheme, so they defunded you. Student not fully registered in an institution. So if you do not fully registered, maybe temporarily and stuff like this, all of those situations when it comes to registration. So if you're temporarily registered, will be it does not meet the average requirements for you to continue being funded by students by the NSFAS scheme. You will be defunded because you don't take your academic serious. So why should we continue funding you when you are not serious about your own life or about your own career? And also student with missing or invalid documents. So if you provided document that are outdated, invalid, you provided wrong addresses, maybe wrong ID or something like that, yes, you will be what defunded. And also, if your document just was not complete, like the application was not complete, you didn't submit certain document that you were required to submit. Student at institutions with unresolved financial record. So if the institution that you are studying in, the university, the college that you are currently studying in has issues of has debts, you know they have debt, unresolved financial problems. When it comes to finances, they have a lot of problems. You will be defunded because NFS cannot trust the institution with the money if they have money problems on their own. um it's like when you know that your friend has a lot of debt, and then you take money and ask your friend to like keep this money for me. I'll take it when I need it. You are gambling. So So scaling impact, so blocked registration and unpaid allowance. So the impact that it has when you are defunded, you will see that you are blocked from registering. When you want to register, it doesn't allow you to register, and you will also see that your allowance hasn't been paid. Department, and you'll see that your allowances are not being paid because you are defunded. Increased dropout risk and financial stress. So it's also increased dropout because when you're defunded, how are you going to study? And especially when you come from poor backgrounds, you know that if NSFAS defund me, there's nothing else I can do. I have to just drop out because my parents or my family doesn't have the amount of money to what to fund me throughout the whole year. Do you get me? So it's also a creative financial stress because you don't know where you're going to find the money for the second semester. Thousands of students affected because so thousands of students are affected. It's not are defunded. And this is not a new thing. I heard that it started last year, but it just wasn't this severe. Food insecurity and accommodation struggle. Obviously, if you are defunded, the residences will also kick you out. Obviously, how are you going to also eat in terms of food and stuff like that? So it's a lot of it just has a lot of impact on students. So the solution that NSFAS has offered is to appeal and review processes for affected students. So if you know that you're affected, you are defunded, you need to have appeal and review the processes. So you need to reapply there are processes that are there in order for you to be funded again. So you have to maybe provide certain documents that you are really defunded and stuff like that. So it's basically a process of applying to a certain link that they will provide. Institutional reconciliation with NFS record. So also with the institution, the university or the college that you are studying in should also provide NSFAS should also provide record to NSFAS to show that yes, these students are defunded and we need your help. We were asking, we're inquiring what is happening. And so the emergency funding and reprioritization. And also there are also certain emergency funding that they are offering to help you pay for obviously the second semester just for you to study, continue with your academics until the year ends. And also certain funding that are there to prioritize students who are defunded. Communication drives to assist students. Also communicating with students in terms of what is happening, what is the way forward is the key to the NSFAS scheme in order to ensure that everyone is updated and alerted in terms of what is happening. The system improvement to reduce admin errors and also because some of the people were defunded because of the admin errors, so they are trying to improve the system in order to avoid it next time. You're able to avoid students who are defunded accidentally just because of admin errors. So the recommendation and next step for student, always check your NSFAS portal regularly and submit document on time. If you know that there are documents that you should submit, do submit them on time before the deadline. Because if you don't, there are people out there who are serious, very serious when it comes to their academics, very serious when it comes to their careers and future. So they will submit theirs on time and they will be considered before you. They will be considered first before you. They will be the first option and you will be the second one. Use official appeal processes, get student union support. Also, there are appeals that are there when you're defunded. So do follow ups on that, how it works. And also there are student union that are there to support you. Go to the finances, to the finance department. There are student leaders that are there to deal with the situation. For NSFAS and institution, NSFAS and institution should improve communication and transparency. They should always alert us, update us as students because if they don't, our future is in their hand. do again. Our future is in their hands, so they need to regularly update us. Whatever they do affect us. Speed up reconciliation. So the reconciliation that the institution have to do with the NSFAS should be fast so that a student will continue with their studies. Consider emergency bridging funding. So there are emergency bridging funding that are there that they are offering. So please, with the institution, they should also consider them, despite the fact that this is not NSFAS, but other funding that are there to just help the student finish the semester, they to consider them and allow them. Also adopt student center agency in fixing blocks. And that's it for today. If you find the video helpful, please do like, subscribe, comment on the video. Tell me what do you think about this issue. If you were in this situation, how did you solve it basically? And also don't forget to hit the notification button so that whenever I am posting a video, you will be notified. Take care.